Hey friends, how are you? Happy Tuesday. You know it's Tuesday, right? I think a lot of us don't know what day it is anymore. They just kind of all blur together. I'm just sitting here. I just finished having lunch in this beautiful backyard and wanted to pop on here. I'm just feeling an immense amount of gratitude. I don't know if a lot of you are aware that yesterday was World Thyroid Awareness Day, and it's just something that impacted my life for so many years in such profound ways. Most of those ways were not awesome. I actually put a list of a lot of the symptoms that go hand in hand with thyroid dysfunction, and I had every one on that list. And in fact, when I first started getting care, I had those symptoms, and I went to my doctor, a holistic practitioner in town, and said, you know, I have all these symptoms, but my blood work that I just had drawn shows that my numbers are, I guess, fairly normal by what the medical community considers okay. Like, the medical community would not have treated me even though I had just about every symptom on the list. And he said, well, what if we just treated your symptoms with a natural thyroid hormone and see if we can get you feeling better. And then made some suggestions for things like omegas and probiotics and you know, whole food source multivitamins, which were all great advice. Got high quality. But unfortunately for 10 years, I never noticed a difference. And every time I got my blood work checked, it was, there was always an adjustment being made. So I was never therapeutic in that time. And I don't know if you guys realize this, I'm always advocating for awareness about thyroid disease, but it's the #1 prescribed pharmacy in our society. And I think a lot of people don't realize that there's solutions, that we should not be in a position to just be okay with a medication. We really should be advocating for root cause. And for me, when I was in my early 30s raising a family and should have been in the prime of my life, and I was circling the drain, I begged that question. I was like, but why? Why am I in a position in life where I should be healthy and happy and thriving? Am I circling the drain? And so because I asked that very powerful question, it led me to do a lot of research on my own. I read books, internet articles, anything I could get my hands on. It mattered to me. The version of myself that I was giving to my family mattered to me. And when you look at that list of symptoms that I posted there, that's not okay. That's not okay to accept that list as something that where we're supposed to live our life that way. And I work with a lot of people in the thyroid community too, and even though they get on their medication prescribed by a doctor, the medical community, it doesn't mean that they feel better. They're just doing things that they're going at the advice of their medical care provider, which they go to school to figure out which pharmacy to dispense for whatever blood work imbalance is evidencing. So I was just sitting here, you know, having lunch and thinking about this full head of hair that I have and the foods that I was just able to eat for my lunch, which I just had a salad with some veggies and a couple pieces of bacon, which I was not able to eat bacon all those years ago. I actually couldn't process anything that had nitrates in it. It's pretty common with thyroid disease to not be able to metabolize nitrates and stuff. So pork was just not in my diet for so many years. And I was thinking, I mean, a lot of people don't realize, but when you're limited by what you can put in your body, it can be very overwhelming. When, you know, for all those years when I went to eat, there were so many things I couldn't put in my body. It was so frustrating to think about what I couldn't have. Like, every single meal, it was, okay, what can't I have? And nobody should live that way. The other thing, I think it's really important that we continue to spread the awareness on, and I love that they have days like this where, you know, World Thyroid Awareness Days, I think November is National Thyroid Awareness Month, and I love that we're always putting, we're having opportunities to shed light on things like this, because thyroid medication is the #1 dispensed pharmacy. Most cases are due to autoimmunity, and people don't realize that. Most medical community doctors don't ask that question. They don't check your antibodies to see why your thyroid's not working. Fortunately, I had other family members that were getting tested for that, and that's what led me to test as well. So it's a big deal, because when you don't rectify the root cause of autoimmunity, of whatever kind of autoimmune it is, your body will continue to attack itself. Even though you're given a medication to help your body with that hormone that it's not producing, it doesn't mean that the root cause has been fixed. And with autoimmunity, when you don't fix the root cause, you open up space for other autoimmune conditions to ensue. And so a lot of people that I end up working with don't just have thyroid disease. They have lupus, they have fibromyalgia, they have rheumatoid arthritis. And it's so much harder to overcome multiple autoimmune illnesses when they get to my door. It's red light level, and I try to advocate, let's advocate for not being at red light level. Let's look at these things and say, hey, is this something that's impacting you? Is this something that we can work to look at the root cause and say, what's going on here and what can we do to remedy it? I love that when I went to nutrition school, it's the #1 nutrition school in the world, as I became board certified to practice, everything that we were taught in the wellness industry was addressing what allowed me to heal by addressing your blood sugar, which is a huge component of autoimmunity. When you address the gut, which is a huge component of autoimmunity, when you combat inflammation, you're standing at 3 pillars in your body for your body to heal. And so many good things happen once those 3 main pillars are stood up, and so much healing can happen from that. I know that there is a lot of people out there, and if you know somebody who's being impacted by autoimmunity, please share this. It's important that we advocate for everyone out there who is struggling, and let's get some solutions to get those root cause fixed, and not just Band-Aid. It just breaks my heart to see people who think that because they're given a pharmacy for their medication, whether it be diabetes or thyroid disease or cholesterol, that the root cause is being fixed, because it's not. The root cause is not being fixed by a diabetes medication. It's not being fixed by a thyroid medication or a cholesterol medication. And a lot of times those medications come with a lot of other not so great friends that continue to hurt the body and continue to take away from quality of life. So as I was sitting here thinking about my quality of life, 7 years of being symptom-free from that, I'm just so grateful. I've had times over the last 7 years where I've kind of ebbed and flowed with more healing than others. I think stress plays a key component for our ability to be well too, and I've certainly had some days, weeks, months in the last 7 years that have been hard and challenging. A lot of it is in relationship to just life in general. But what I'm grateful for is that my body didn't go into full-blown back to where it was, because I had implemented key healing ingredients that kept my body in a better place, not the best place. I feel like right now I'm in a really, really good place. I've instituted a lot of spiritual and nutritional, of course, that's always been there, supplemental, just some great lifestyle modifications to help protect and circle around and make sure that I do everything I can to protect every angle that could come at and possibly open up the opportunity for symptoms to return. So and then there was a couple other posts that I saw before I hopped on here. I was like, I've got to get on and share something. One of my colleagues shared a testimony of a person who was just having great success, and I just looked at the post and I was like, is this really my life? Is this really what I get to do? I'm just so grateful that I had this thing, this 10-year battle with something, but it's given me an opportunity to have a platform to go out and help so many other people. It has erased every tear, every frustration that I could have ever encountered in that period of time, because God used it for good and turned it around and just said, you know, all those years that you shed those tears, we're going to turn those into hope and joy and for other people, and you're going to get well, and you're not going to be selfish with it. You're going to turn around and you're going to help other people. And I just love that. I love that he turned my pain into purpose for me and for so many other people. And then I saw, sorry, I'm sitting in my backyard, so I've got traffic going by, but I also saw another post right before I hopped on about another girl, and she was talking about how, you know, the supplements that we've been using have just been such a game changer. And I was like, that has been one of the best decisions of my life. And I'm just so grateful for that. And so when you see me just sharing like crazy the hope I have for other people, it's because it stung, it's because it hurt so bad, and it's also because I know what has helped me, I know can help other people, and I'm just so grateful for that. So I wanted to just share a little bit from my heart to yours. I'm just sitting here with just an immense amount of gratitude for where I've come from, and so grateful for that, and so grateful for the healing and for the opportunity to have such an incredible amount of purpose that has come from what was deemed very tragic and very hard part of my life, but God gave me the strength to persevere and get through it, and now I get to help other people get on the other side of that and release a lot of those poor quality of life things that take away from their ability to be that best version of themselves. So thanks you all for hanging in there today, for hearing my heart, for all your love and support throughout the years. Love you guys.